Chris Brentle. Chris Brentle.
News Talk 1270, KIML. Well, we'll just wait until we get the camera in here.
Do we want the camera in here, I think, is the other question. It might get us in trouble.
It might get you in trouble. Although, I don't know. I got to watch out because I don't want to get caught, picking my nose or something like that. Not that I pick my nose during breaks, but you got to be careful with that kind of stuff.
You do. I'm not ashamed of it.
Well, you're not ashamed?
Picking my nose. I don't care.
Okay. Well,
we do it all the time. We all do it.
Well,
you're doing it right now. You don't need a camera. I'll just tell you.
That's why my voice is so nasally all the time.
No, that's a good one there.
Okay. So maybe we don't even need a camera to get you in trouble. Okay. So today, of course, is opening day for Major League Baseball. Yesterday was opening night. I guess they're playing one night game now, and then opening day, the big day. I mean, this is the unofficial start of spring. I mean, everybody has a chance of making it to the World Series, although I think the Cubs are officially eliminated now, right?
Oh, I agree completely. Yeah. They're done. They're 0-1. I know there's 161 games left for the Cubs. Yeah. I'm still calling it. It's over. Their season's over.
Yeah. Well, I've heard people seriously say the Cubs could make their run this year.
It's because of Back to the Future. They're based off a movie.
I think. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Next year it'll be 110 years since they've won a World Series.
You need
maybe next year.
The Cubs have a chance to compete if they would get good pitching and good hitting. That's my stance on the Cubs.
Which is pretty much the formula for any team to win.
If they had good players, they could win.
Yeah. Well,
that's in-depth analysis right there, DC.
Now, apparently, it's a controversial thing now for the Cubs. The Wrigley Field's one of these old school parks. They were one. I think they were. Were they one of the? Were they one of the last? I can't remember. Were they one of the last to put the lights in, or was that Fenway? Last to put lights in.
I get them mixed up.
Yeah, they're both really old places.
They are, and they're spending all that money to renovate. Just build a new Wrigley Stadium.
Yeah,
I understand keeping these dinosaur stadiums up. Everybody talks about tradition, and then 2 years after the new stadium's built, everybody's saying the same thing. Oh, we're glad they built the new stadium. Just build a new Wrigley Field.
Well, let's talk about this for a second. Now, baseball is a game of tradition, and everybody said, well, they love going to Fenway Park, especially. For some reason, Fenway Park, even though it holds about 35,000, which is about normal for baseball. That's about where baseball parks are these days. So it's got good capacity. About 10,000 of those seats have obstructed views right off the bat. Then you have a lack of bathrooms, which apparently Wrigley Field, even though they put in this new Jumbotron that people are upset about, they didn't upgrade the bathrooms, which, again, is a problem in some of these old stadiums. They didn't have enough bathrooms.
I'd rather have a Jumbotron as a fan. How many times am I going to the bathroom?
Yeah,
I don't like going in the stadiums anyways. I feel like there's a trough there, and I just don't like it. There's always a trough in there, and the people are beside you. Yeah. So a lot of times, if it's late in the innings, you got a drunk guy leaning on you as you're trying to pee. That's just bad news. And then I can't pee because of anxiety because there's 30 people in there. Yeah. There's no dividers.
If your stadium has a trough in the bathroom, it's time to upgrade your stadium.
Yes.
New stadiums don't have that. That's why when I go to Orioles game in May, I'm going club seats. So I have a private elevator or escalator. I don't have to take the same escalator as the people sitting in the bleachers. I don't have to use the same bathroom as the people sitting in the bleachers. So, but because I remember going to the first two Ravens season openers, and they played at Old Memorial Stadium, which was the Orioles stadium as well. The Colts played there. The Orioles played there. And it was a stadium that held about 40,000 for baseball. They added 25,000 bleacher seats for football. So right off the bat, too much capacity for the bathrooms. And I will just say, and apparently Deadspin has some pictures from Wrigley Park from last night. And I'm not even going to look at them because I don't click on Deadspin links because they're the lowest of the low when it comes to sports media. But I can tell you from personal experience, I've seen some horrible things in the old Memorial Stadium bathrooms, and they where they put the bleachers for the football state. When they upgraded it for football, and this is just a short-term thing until the new Ravens Stadium got built back in the late 90s. They put in, I think, maybe 500 porta-johns. There was just bleachers, and then behind the bleachers, just an entire row of porta-johns. They used up a whole parking lot for porta-johns, which, I mean, if they clean them, I guess that's all right, but it's still, it's ugh. But I was in the upper deck of the old baseball part of the stadium, and the bathrooms were a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
We'll just say that. I mean, people didn't distinguish between stalls and sinks. We'll just put it that way. Yeah. It was disgusting. I imagine that's what's going on at Wrigley Field. Just tear it down and build a new one. You can
build a new stadium.
Build it exactly like the old one without obstructed seats. You could do that.
Well, like I said, I don't care about bathrooms. I don't use them typically. I make like I'm hunting. You can't. You're in the deer stand. You can't use the bathroom.
You just don't go until you're done.
I just don't go. So I'd rather have the jumbotron personally.
Yeah.
Well, I care about a bathroom.
Well, I want clean bathrooms and a jumbotron. Is it too little to ask? Is it too little to ask to be able to see the game plus have sanitation?
Yes, it is. Way too much to ask.
Apparently in Chicago it is.
Yeah.
And I don't care what anybody says. Going to one of these 100-year-old baseball parks, sitting in a wooden seat with no padding, in a section behind a pole, behind a concrete pole that holds up the upper deck. That's not my idea of enjoying a sporting event.
Yeah,
I know baseball is kind of, you just go for the experience and you hang out and you talk to your friends and you eat a hot dog and drink a beer. But I want to see the game, even if it's not really at the top of my list to experience an exciting game. I want to see the game. Yeah, and I certainly don't want to end up getting some kind of weird disease from the bathrooms either.
Exactly. Not to mention, who wants to go see the Cubs or Red Sox?
Well,
I don't. I don't want to go see them. Yeah. I don't want to go sit in a wooden bleacher and see them. Oh, what travesty!
Can you? I mean, just think about it. There are high school football teams in Texas, and I was in Texas a few weeks ago, and I saw some. Every town has a beautiful stadium for their high school football team. Beautiful. I mean, most of these high school stadiums seat 10,000, 15,000, and the entire town comes up on Friday night and watches the games. Why can't the Cubs and why can't the Red Sox just say, look, some town that I've never heard of in Texas has a better stadium than us, and I don't want to hear about tradition. You can incorporate the tradition into the new place.
They still want to spend the money.
Oh, that's
on the news. That's really all it boils down to.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And and look, I mean,
and people still come to the games.
Yeah,
in their defense, people still going to come watch the Cubs typically.
People pay extra.
Yeah,
they pay extra to go to Wrigley Field for an afternoon game, or they pay extra to go to Fenway Park. And at least the Red Sox are good most of the time.
Yeah, that's
at least
true.
The last 10 years they have been.
The poor Cubs, on the other hand,
poor Cubs, you're just going to soak in bad stadium atmosphere and a bad team.
Yeah. I don't recall one major league game early in the season that really kind of was indicative of how a season's going to go than last night, than the Cubs. That's just how it's the They're not going to score. They can't hit. I mean, their starting their pitcher last night, he's going to have a good year for them, But at the same time, they don't
need
really
more
like
than one
the
guy.
rotation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
so
they might lose 100. I'm just saying.
it would that's not a stretch to say the Cubs are going to lose 100 games.
No, it's not a stretch.
I mean, that would be like saying the Phillies are going to lose 100.
Yeah.
The Phillies might lose 120.
They might.
They're awful. They're awful.
I think they might be a little better than people think. But I hope they don't lose 120. That'd be kind of sad for Philadelphia. You have the Sixers and the Phillies in the same town.
The Phillies are, out of all sports, they're the team that has the most losses in the history.
Wow.
Of course, they've been around since 1870. But, I mean, they've had maybe 5 good seasons in 140 years.
They've won some World Series, though.
A couple.
1980 and not too long ago. 2007, maybe?
2006.
2000-something.
2006, 2007.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that 93 season, which they should have won the World Series.
Old Joe Carter, Kansas City native.
Yeah. Wild thing, Mitch Williams got run out of town.
Yep.
He's back now. He does radio in Philly.
Does he?
I'm surprised they let him back in, but I guess after they finally won a World Series,
it was okay.
It was okay.
Makes sense.
We got one now. You can come back.
Yeah.
I mean, they ran him out of town.
Geez, over one pitch.
Over one pitch. They forgot the, I don't know, what was it, 50 saves that he had that year?
Yeah.
Something like 47 or 50 saves. Forget about all that. You threw one bad pitch, you're done.
You're done. To a really good hitter.
Yeah, to a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. That's Philly for you.
That's exactly what Philly is.
At least they didn't throw batteries at him.
They boo Santa Claus, throw batteries, and then run you out of town after one bad pitch.
One bad pitch. So what do we have going on in sports for this hour?
We have Wyoming spring football and also Wyoming wrestling news. They might join the Big 12.
Yeah, that's a pretty good fit for them, I think.
It is, yeah.
Now we can just get the football team in the Big 12.
And basketball.
And basketball. And then maybe they'd have a chance. Okay, well, I have a guest next hour, so we'll see you tomorrow. News Talk 1270 KIML.
If you smell what the
Don Carpenter
is cooking.
on News Talk 1270 KIML.